morning. We're your hosts here at the Bullen Bulletin. I'm Noah.
And I'm Darren, and today we'll be covering the major events of modern history.
In breaking news here, it seems that World War II is over. After Hitler has killed himself, and Japan has officially surrendered after the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We have a reporter in Nagasaki live.
We're here in Hiroshima. An atomic bomb has just been dropped on the city. There are hundreds of thousands of deaths. The Japanese have appeared to surrendered. There's radiation everywhere, and I'm not feeling too good, so back to you in the studio.
It seems that these bombings have had drastic effects on the country, killing around 100,000 in Hiroshima and another 70,000 in Nagasaki. These were the first ever nuclear bombs used in warfare, and their effects were extremely destructive.
The two bombings combined destroyed over 45 square miles of land throughout Japan. And nuclear war is something the whole world hopes to never see. The idea of world peace has never been more important.
Word.
After the violent outbreak of World War II and the failure of the League of Nations, the UN was created in order to maintain world peace.
The UN consists of nations all throughout the world, including the US, Great Britain, China, and the Soviet Union.
Although it was a success, it wasn't perfect. Following the end of World War II, tensions began to rise between the US and the Soviet Union.
Despite being on both the same side during both World War I and II, both these nations turned into global superpowers as the Soviet Union wanted to spread communism and the US wanted to stop it. We'll cut to a scene of the two fighting now.
Wow, that looks like quite the predicament.
Indeed.
It looks like the US has just given Europe a whopping $12 billion.
Okay, I'm getting insider information. The US did this to gain support from the European nations, who were vastly weakened from World War II.
Fofos, I'm tipping. Wood grain, I'm gripping. Catch me lane switching with the paint dripping. Turn your neck and your dame missing. Me and Slim, we ain't tripping. I'm figure flipping and syrup sipping. Like do or die, I'm pole pimping. Car stop, rims keep spinning. I'm flipping drop with invisible tops. Bob with my drop, step out. I'm shaking the block with 418s. Candy green with 11 screens. My gasoline out.
In other news, tensions continue to rise between the US and the Soviet Union. They have yet to fight directly. However, proxy wars are becoming more and more prevalent. Let's see what's going on in Korea.
We're here on scene at the Korean Peninsula. North Korea invaded South Korea, but was pushed back all the way to the 38th parallel. Although tensions have started to diffuse, they are not peaceful with one another. As you can see.
Thanks for the report. It sure looks pretty brutal.
It sure does. Looks like there's some action happening in Vietnam. Let's go back to Caden.
We're here on scene in Vietnam, where the Communist North seems to be using guerrilla warfare tactics to defeat the South, which is backed by the US. It is quite brutal, as you can see back there. The North is led by Ho Chi Minh, and yeah, it's pretty brutal. Okay, back to you in the studio.
More breaking news. The Soviet Union has planted bombs in Cuba that could potentially take out half of the US.
Yikes. Let's go down to the scene.
I challenge you to a staring contest.
All right. You blinked. I win.
Well, we sure don't want a nuclear war to break out. That'd be quite unfortunate.
The Soviet Union is furthering an effort to spread communism, as they have invaded Afghanistan. However, with the help of the US, Afghanistan has been able to successfully fight back.
During this time, there was also a communist revolution in China led by Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong implemented a number of policies such as the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution. Although these were successful in advancing the economy, both of these policies had devastating effects and killed around 30 million people.
In other news, African states have been looking for independence since the end of World War II.
States like Algeria have used violence to defeat their colonizers, and others like Ghana have used peaceful methods under leaders like Kwame Nkrumah.
We're over here, we're in Africa, post 1945, after the World Wars. European states were weakened due to the wars and the fighting and the lack of money they had. And that mixed with the rising nationalism throughout these colonies, as you can see. All of that has led to decolonization throughout many states such as Ghana, as you can see right here, within the region of Ghana in Africa. Ghana, Africa.
Back to the Soviet Union, they have begun to fall as new plans implemented by Gorbachev have weakened the economy and political structure.
Plans like Glasnost, which has opened the Soviet Union up socially, and Perestroika, which has restructured the economic system, have led to the downfall.
I'm picking up vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. I'm picking up.
Well, it looks like the Berlin Wall has fallen, symbolizing the end of the Cold War.
With more good news, as technology has begun to improve all over the world, connectivity has started to increase.
Other inventions, like vaccines and birth control, have helped increase life expectancy all over the world. But as new technologies have begun to be introduced, the use of fossil fuels and the production of greenhouse gases have had devastating effects all over the world.
Climate change is increasing temperatures across South America, reducing rainfall in several of its countries, leading glaciers to rapidly retreat into the Andes and causing sea levels to rise in the Pacific and Atlantic coastlines. Let's take a look at the negative effects it's had.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're on the front lines of the Australian bushfires. As you can see, it's getting pretty rough out here. I'm not sure how much time I have left. Experts say the main causes would be climate change and poachers in the forests leaving cigarettes, causing the bushfires to start up. The effects of this have had drastic implications on both humans as well as wildlife. All right, we're back here on the front lines of the climate change epidemic. As you can see, there's been desertification all across the lands of the world, as well as major deforestation caused by over-agriculture and overgrazing.
We love the earth, it is our planet. We love the earth, it is our home. We love the earth, it is our planet. We love.
In women news, there have been further steps towards equal rights worldwide, as women in Ghana have just gained the right to vote as of 1992.
I'm here to cast my vote in the next election.
You can vote, you're a woman.
Actually, she can vote.
Another day, another slate.
Some unfortunate news here. It seems that the World Trade Center has been attacked and the North and South Tower have both fallen.
It seems that the Islamic extremist group Al-Qaeda has hijacked multiple airplanes and aimed them to attack the U.S. As tensions in the Middle East continued, the U.S. has been supportive of Israel, which caused Al-Qaeda to carry out these attacks.
The increase of globalization has led to different cultures spreading around the world.
An example of this is K-pop, like BTS, which has gone worldwide.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, that's it for today.
We'll see you guys on the next one.